Russia have sent warship and nuclear-capable submarines to the coast of the United States of America. In fact, they have sent it to Cuba. Cuba, that's about 661 kilometers from Florida. Very, very close. As you can imagine, if Russia ever decided to shoot those long-range missiles, those very fast supersonic missiles, there's no chance they're going to be stopped. So in fact, in America right now, some people have taken pictures of these warships from the coast of the United States of America. I'm not talking from the sea. Somebody at the coast in Florida taking pictures of Russian warships walking across. This has never happened in the past. If you have never worried about World War III happening, fellas, I think the time is now. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's not a beautiful day. We don't like what's happening. I know we've all been wondering why is this war happening? Why is this necessary? What are the causes? What are the real reasons? And we've asked many questions. We've tried to understand why is the West so involved in this war between Ukrainians and Russians? There has not been any clear answer, right? Some people believe it's about liberty and freedom. You need to support and respect other people's freedom. But we've seen many other countries where freedom is not respected and there has been no such support at all. Matter of fact, many countries have been ignored. Many nations have been ignored in the same situation. We have an interview of Lindsey Graham, an American senator, that's speaking very clearly about something very specific. Is this the reason to the Russian war in Ukraine? Let's watch.
Either we're going to help Ukraine or we're not. It's now time to give them the F-16s, let them fly the planes, long-range artillery to hit targets inside of Russia. They're sitting on $10 to $12 trillion of critical minerals in Ukraine. They could be the richest country in all of Europe.
Wow. Ukraine is sitting around $10 trillion of minerals. They could be the richest country in Europe. Is that the reason? Wow.
I don't want to give that money and those assets to Putin to share with China. If we help Ukraine now, they can become the best business partner we ever dreamed of. That $10 to $12 trillion of critical mineral assets could be used by Ukraine and the West, not given to Putin and China. This is a very big deal how Ukraine ends. Let's help them win a war we can't afford to lose. Let's find a solution to this war. But they're sitting on a gold mine to give Putin $10 or $12 trillion of critical minerals that he will share with China is ridiculous.
So clearly, as you can see, it's not about helping Ukrainians. It's about gold and mines and $10 trillion that Ukraine is sitting on, which could make it the richest country in Europe and a faithful partner to the West. So what does this mean? We're not going to let Ukraine, within the end of Putin, who's going to take all the minerals and share with China. So you can see, I didn't say it. I think we all watched, right? Did we all understand correctly what we heard? Or is it me? He says Ukraine is sitting on top of tens of trillions of dollars. That could be the richest country in Europe. And we're not going to let that within the end of the Russians. That's going to mine it and share with the Chinese. So this has nothing to do with helping Ukrainians, in fact. It has nothing to do with the people of Ukraine. It's nothing to do with the civil population. It has everything to do with the interests that some people are benefiting from Ukraine. And I think this should rise an alert and make you understand what type of world we live in. It's all about money. If it makes money, it makes sense. If it doesn't make money, it doesn't mean anything. So it also means they could support anything provided that it makes them money. Whether it's right or wrong, if it's part of their groups, then that's fine. If it makes them money, it's fine. If it doesn't make them money, then they don't care whether thousands of people are dying or millions of people are dying. Let's listen to this man one more time. I mean, why would he come on TV and lie? Why would he do that? Let's go. One more time.
Either we're going to help Ukraine or we're not. It's now time to give them the F-16s, let them fly the planes, long-range artillery to hit targets inside of Russia. They're sitting on $10 to $12 trillion of critical minerals in Ukraine. They could be the richest country in all of Europe.
They could be the richest country of all of Europe. Let's give them weapons so they can hit Russia and destroy, so we do not allow Russia to get all the minerals. That's what he's saying. Or am I wrong? Listen to him again.
I don't want to give that money and those assets to Putin to share with China.
I don't want to give those money and those assets to Putin to share with China.
If we help Ukraine now, they can become the best business partner we ever dreamed of.
If we help Ukraine now, they can become the best business partner we could ever dream of. The best business partner we could ever dream of. So fellas, you understand, wars don't happen just because things have to be right. Wars happen for business interests. If business makes sense, you have a war. You have our support. You have the guns. You have the F-16. You have the long-range missiles. People are going to fall on the ground, and nobody cares about that, provided a certain category of people benefit from what's happening. Are we together or not? Did you listen to this man? Or am I lying?
That $10 to $12 trillion of critical mineral assets could be used by Ukraine and the West, not given to Putin and China.
Tens of trillions of dollars of assets could be used by Ukraine and the West, not given to Putin and China.
This is a very big deal how Ukraine ends. Let's help them win a war we can't afford to lose. Let's find a solution to this war. But they're sitting on a gold mine to give Putin $10 or $12 trillion of critical minerals that he will share with China is ridiculous.
There you have it, fellas. I don't know what to say. Just quickly so you can understand, for the longest time, Americans provided weapons to Ukraine to use and defend themselves. It was only for defensive measure. It was never for offensive because they were scared, or maybe let me say cautious, to really irritate Vladimir Putin in a way that it would push him to start a third world war. But a few days ago, Joe Biden, certainly from the pressure of the people around him, have allowed Ukraine to use the weapons that America provided to hit inside Russia. Not only Joe Biden, the French have done the same. Germany has done the same. The Ukrainians have used drones to hit inside Russia at about 600 kilometers. For the first time, the Ukrainians hit the Su-57. That's one of the best combat planes of the Russian army. The Su-57 is a supersonic two-engine, fifth-generation stealth fighter and was seen as Moscow's answer to the Western stealth jet like the US Air Force F-22 Raptor. So it's definitely the flagship of combat plane of the Russians. And this cost about $51 million. So Ukrainians have used a very cheap drone to go and hit the $51 million airplane with the intelligence and the help of America. I mean, look at these pictures. Look at these pictures. These are satellite pictures. Probably issued by America, right? So fellas, once more, I think we need to take this into consideration. We live in a world and we believe everything is fair. Is everything fair? Are we actually victims of a system where the strongest person is the one that defines what the laws are? Does Ukraine has the right to defend itself? Absolutely. But does anybody has the right to create a war that benefits them financially while destroying millions of lives? You tell me. Thank you very much, fellas. It's always a great pleasure. There is a lot of things happening. Russia is in Cuba. The US dollar is losing power very, very quickly. And I personally think if you have US dollars and you can have alternatives, it's maybe a good idea that you do so. God bless.